ITSIC, non-human identities, or NHI, I think is a misunderstood subject. Please just clearly define what is the spectrum of what non-human identities are.
Non-human identities essentially are programmatic access keys that applications are using in order to access and authenticate against resources they need. So if an application needs to authenticate and use a database, for that authentication, they will need to use some sort of a credential, programmatic credential. Those are non-human identities. They come in a lot of different types and forms. It can be service accounts, API keys, connection strings, cloud access tokens, and so forth.
So it's like an exponential version of what you think you've got in your environment, yes?
Yes, that's correct. Here at Entro Security, we just released a report, great statistics around non-human identities. And one of the statistics over there is that for every human identity, we're seeing an average of 92 non-human identities.
So let's go through the sort of management conundrum that this presents.
The main problem is that those non-human identities, those programmatic access keys are being created, permissioned, used by teams that are not responsible to secure them. Usually they're being created by DevOps or developers, and they scatter them around so they can store them within vaults, which are storage solutions. But then they are also committing them into code, sending them over Slack channels. And the main problem we're seeing in the market is that security teams usually have no idea how many non-human identities they have, where they are, or what they're being used for.
I understand at Entro, you will do a scan to say, here's what your environment looks like.
Yeah, so Entro is the first platform out there to control those non-human identities or claim control over those non-human identities for security teams. And the fourth thing we're doing is getting an inventory.
Right.
Discovering all of them, understanding where they were created, how many of them are stored within vaults, and how many of them are exposed. Basically enabling the organization to answer the question of how many non-human identities and secrets they have and where they are.
What specific about how those are being used becomes the most shocking factor? The thing like, oh, wow, I didn't realize that was going on.
Not only that you don't know how many you have, but also those are long randomized strings. So you have no data about them. You don't know who created them, who's using them. So that's the second step of what we're doing. We're actually creating a lineage map of which application is using what token to access what resource, and other vital data around it, like the human owner, permissions of it, activities. And it's quite shocking to understand how those are being used and how those are being leveraged and how many of them have admin permissions, but they don't need them.
How does this sort of move faster into a solution?
That's NHIDR, non-human identity detection and response. That's something we provide here at Entro Security, and we provide a full lifecycle management. So we can help you to detect them, enrich them, find all of the risks around them, find abnormal behaviors around them, but also move them into a secure location, rotate them, remove ones that you don't really need anymore, idle tokens, and so forth. Platforms like non-human identity management, like what Entro is doing, can help you automate and control those non-human identities and secrets.
Well, I think what you're doing at Entro is very, very impressive, and it addresses two big issues that I know our audience is very concerned with: is identity in general, because we know that is, attack vector number one, and then two, understanding your attack surface, which without doing something like this, well, you don't have a full view of that. If you want to know more about your non-human identity environment and how to manage it and how to get it under control, well, you should be checking out what they're doing over at Entro. The web address for where they are and to learn more is right there, so you should go check them out. Please check them out.